Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and today's video is all about the Old Firm. So let's have some fun. To some people watching today's video that will sound like overconfidence. To others you'll get the reference in what I'm talking about and feel like it's very topical regarding this game. But talking about this game, ladies and gentlemen, we have obviously discussed an Old Firm about a month ago where we broke down Celtic, we broke down Rangers, we really got to the old nooks and crannies of how both sides are operating, playing, etc, etc. And to save everyone some boredom of hearing the exact same stuff and the same stuff broken down, instead of maybe a traditional oppositional preview, we're going to do a sort of oppositional update and just discuss how both sides are going, as this is a title race, ladies and gentlemen, and it could all be decided this weekend, or a major spanner could be flung into the works. Guess which one I'd like to see. Something I don't like seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that I say that Celtic, who we're going to currently talk about first, is sitting top in the league. Not a fan of that, but they find themselves there 3 point clear of Rangers and a whopping 5 goal difference above us. What a mess. What a mess we've put ourselves in, Rangers Football Club, to where we were a couple months ago. But I feel like I need to instantly pull it back to the game at Ibrox. You know what I mean? That free draw, that score draw, with so many mixed emotions and so many madness. I was into it. It was one of the most watched games. So much publicity based on that game. And for me, that game needs to be mentioned right here, because on paper, ladies and gentlemen, the way that game unfolded should have knocked Celtic's confidence, dented Celtic's confidence and boosted us. Because let's look at it this way. Celtic were 2-0 up at half-time away, needing to win the game, to go top of the league to stop Rangers having any advantage, any games in hand to be able to climb up to the top of the table with very little games to go. And they'd done that in a position where no away fans, up in a hostile atmosphere, and they done it tremendously. 2-0 up at half-time. They had it within their grasp to turn this entire thing on its head. But then Rangers chipped away and came back. They conceded 2 goals. They bottled a 2-0 lead. They then grabbed it, absolutely silencing a crazy crowd like this by scoring pretty much a kick-off goal, if you know, you know. And then, going into the 90th minute, they concede a goal. And it's not just a goal, it is a goal of the season winner to your biggest rivals and your title rivals in the 95th minute of the game. Even saying it out loud, ladies and gentlemen, the advantage should have went with Rangers. We should have done this, and Celtic should have felt that stab in the old heart. But for whatever reason, it was Rangers who then folded after that game, and it was Celtic they just kept winning. And look, it's not been vintage Celtic, if I have to steal a line from Michael Cole. It's not been fiery. They've not been absolutely smashing teams left, right and centre, looking like the all-conquering Celtic side we've seen over the last couple of years. No, at that as well. And that's maybe got a lot of people talking, and maybe a lot of people looking, saying, well, they've not been really good here. It took them to the second half to score 3 goals versus St Mirren. Oh, they rode their luck versus Dundee. Dundee should have scored a couple goals. They made a mistake. They got bailed out by James Forrest, and then you look at it, it could have went either way in the cup semi-final, versus Aberdeen. They could have got beat there. There's a lot of ifs, there's a lot of maybes there, and maybe it's me just being where I am in the old season, but I hear all that noise, and I hear how bad Celtic's playing and how rough they're playing and everything like that. But for me, I take a step back and look at it, ladies and gentlemen, and say, oh yeah, is irrelevant. Look where we are in the season. It's the business end of the season. It's been a long season for a lot of these players, and if we're being brutally honest, both sides of the Old Firm aren't playing up to their best football. Both sides of the Old Firm aren't playing at a good level right now, but only one of the Old Firm's winning, and that's unfortunately not us. Now, winning, by the way, I'm obviously referring to the fact that they've won all their games since playing us. We unfortunately haven't. Ross County and Dundee, you didn't need me to actually remind you. But I actually want to go in and speak about the most recent game, because for me it's an important layer to the story, an important foundation to what is a massive game tomorrow, because it'll tell you what you need to know and why I think the key difference is that forward line for Celtic compared to that forward line for Rangers. Because you look at their most recent game, 3-0 win versus Hearts at Parkhead. If you just look on paper, you say, well, that's routine, that's what you're expecting. Celtic, crunch time, beating Hearts must have been one-sided. But if you actually watch the game, Hearts had major opportunities. I mean, the first minute, Shankland plays somebody in, they cut it back, and then there end up being a sort of goal line block or a clearance, whatever you actually want to call it. In the first minute, Hearts were pressurising, winning corners, getting forward. One chance to Kyogo, one goal. You're like, oh, Alright, Hearts come back, they create chance after chance, force Joe Hart into a fantastic save, corner, 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 one long ball, one finish for Kyogo, and you're 2-0 behind. That there, what changes a difficult game and a difficult venture and possibly a Ross County or a Dundee type result, and it just makes it null and void because you get the goal, you get the chances, 2 chances for Kyogo, 2 goals. We saw it earlier on versus us, the chance that he got and he put the way. The difference has been a goal scorer, and for me that is where the separation truly lies between Rangers and Celtic, because I think if you're fair enough, both of them aren't firing all cylinders, both of them aren't playing their best stuff. It's probably been maybe the poorest they've played throughout the entire season in terms of dropping points to A, B and C, but if you step back and look at the biggest difference has been the goals. We had chances versus likes of Ross County, we blew it. We had Ross County's chances versus Motherwell, we blew it. We had chances versus Dundee, we blew it. Celtic had 2 chances early on versus onslaught of pressure from Hearts. They took both of them and pretty much killed the game stone dead. That's the difference. Yeah, goal scorer. And I can't help but think that that is going to have its say tomorrow, no matter what team actually wins it. If there is going to be a separation, it's going to come down to who wins that individual battle. Whoever wins that battle wins the game, in my personal opinion. It's Kyogo versus Dessers. It's quite clearly been in Kyogo's favour so far this season, but we really need Dessers to win one. And the only other thing I do want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is the narrative that it all favours Celtic. And you're absolutely right about this. You look at it, where they are, the points advantage, the goals advantage, the fact that it is at Parkhead, a notoriously difficult place to go there and win. Some of my most favourite Rangers teams since I was a wee laddie have struggled to go there and win games. I get we're up against it. I get it brings it. There is no away Rangers fans here. It is going to be a crazy hostile crowd looking to pile on the misery if you actually will, and I get all that, but at the same time, is that advantage that favours Celtic, everything like that can turn into pressure really, really quickly, especially if you start the game properly, especially if you didn't play into their hands, and especially if you start making that crowd a little bit nervous. That advantage can turn into a disadvantage very quickly. If you've got any doubts about that, think back to when they scored 22nd into the game, what it did to the crowd. Can we see a repeat just on the opposite side? That would be sensational. And with that being said, that's reached the end of the Celtic side of today's video. Let's get to the Rangers end then, shall we? And honestly, I can't just help myself rubbing the old eyes and feeling frustrated when I think about what this game could and probably should have actually been. If we had done our jobs and won the games we were supposed to be winning, not just winning, but winning comfortably when you look at the teams we were up against, we would be going into tomorrow knowing that the pressure is all on the opposition. It should be flipped, ladies and gentlemen. That crowd should be nervous going into tomorrow, watching their team knowing that they need to win because we are clear at the top league. This whole narrative around this game should be flipped, but again, ladies and gentlemen, this team shows that one bad patch in the season that's cost Michael Beale their job wasn't actually enough. They had to then pull Clement down and get a couple of people questioning the likes of Clement, which for me is absolutely embarrassing. The job that he's done, he pull us out the trenches and get us gone, has been absolutely sensational, but again, there's only so much this man can do with the players that he's actually got, you know what I mean? Form is temporary, but being painfully average is permanent. And that's how I feel about a lot of these players in this Rangers team. I didn't want to be saying it, but again, I'm not one of these guys that follows a team because they like A, B or C. No, the team is what matters to me, ladies and gentlemen. The players come and go. I love this team, and I can look at it objectively and say there is painfully average footballers that have the exact same cycle every year or two. Bring up their level when they get a manager sack, play well for a good couple months, and then just bomb back down to their bad standard, and then everybody blames the actual manager. No, Clement's done a tremendous job at this football club, and we all need to get behind them. But again, there is nothing he can do right now regarding those painfully average players. We've got to rely on the couple individual quality players that I believe we've got in that starting 11 to be able to overcome and show their individual qualities to pull us over the line and again deliver what would be an unexpected title, especially the way the season actually started. But it's still in front of us. I know it's all doom and gloom and there's people giving up and everyone's moaning and everyone's doing it. I get all that, but it's still there to be won, ladies and gentlemen. We've just got to have the players actually go out there and do their job and actually go ahead and believe they can do it. And belief is such an important thing when you talk about Rangers versus Celtic and you look at it from the Rangers perspective, because to me there has been a major lack of belief pretty much for the first Old Firm this season. If you didn't believe me, think of every Old Firm this season. Let me tell you, does this sound a wee bit familiar? We start the game cagey. We start the game scared. We start the game sitting off them. We lose the midfield battle every Old Firm. We then lay a hand on them. We sit back, we sit back, we sit back. We usually go in a couple goals behind or a goal behind. And then in the second half, we actually go, oh, let's put a wee bit of pressure on Celtic. Oh, let's put a wee bit of attacking threat into there. And then Celtic don't look like the side that we can actually make them look by show ponying their way around Ibrox. That's the way it's been all season long. And it's that mentality that absolutely sickens me to my stomach. And it needs to be something that's addressed right away for the very first whistle. Because honestly, see if the Rangers team and the Rangers players didn't believe they can win tomorrow, just tell us. In fact, they will tell us, because if we start the game the exact same way, with that slow, ponderous way, being scared to put pressure on, no actually laying a bit, and it'll tell us everything we need to know. And if they're not good enough, they're not good enough. But it's certainly no Clement's fault. He'll set them out there, he'll give them an opportunity so the players to go out there and actually do it. And I know people will shout, oh well, you haven't beat them all season, how would you expect to beat them now when all the pressure is on you to go ahead and get it in the Old Firm? We were backed up against the wall. Aye, ladies and gentlemen, but you can't look me in the eyes right now and say, if we actually start the game the way we've been finishing these Old Firms, we actually have a chance to win this game of football. Do you know what I mean? Let's just abandon that 45 first minute bend over for Celtic. Let's just go after them for the very first whistle. And if we come up short, we come up short. That's the way it. We're going to get rid of the painfully average players and bring in some quality. We'll be talking about one in a couple of days, probably Sunday actually, by the time the Old Firm dust is actually settled. I just didn't want it to get lost in the shuffle because everyone's focusing in on this game. Don't worry, that video is actually coming. But aye, ladies and gentlemen, we are more than capable of winning this game. It's just if the players actually believe it. And you know, my old man, he always says, when you expect Rangers to win a game, there's a chance they'll lose it. And when you expect them to lose the game, or if there's a lot of negativity around the game, they usually come out and surprise you. That's why they are so good recently in European football now as well. They can punch it, and we're obviously backed up with the exact same corner right here. Everyone's favouring Celtic there. It's going to be a hostile atmosphere, but can you take that and show a wee bit of sun, and at least give us a chance to hopefully win the league title this year and maybe even do a treble, dare I suggest. But that's it regarding it. It's truly gut check time. If we're good enough, we'll show it tomorrow. If we aren't, we'll hold our hands up and just say we've no good enough. It's time to move players on and let Clement cook. And that's how I feel going into the game. I believe we will win this game 2-1. I'm going for it! Ladies and gentlemen, can't wait to see them shit themselves in the first whistle and back off Celtic and let them boss the first half, because they've no got it in the Stones department. But aye, before we wrap up today's video, I do want to say just a wee couple other conversation points. Ben Davies, Balogun, etc, etc. Whereas I'm fine with either one of them coming in. Truly am. I'm no one of these guys that are going, oh no, Ben Davies. I don't think Ben Davies is half as bad as anybody is. If he came in on a free transfer, everyone would be loving him. But because he had that thing, because people prefer Suter, people prefer this, the guy's got a really bad. If you look at your best winning runs, your best defensive partnership statistics, it's all with Ben Davies in it. But but where my feeling is going into this game of football, and where I want to see is, I want to see the little man that trotted on the park versus Kilmarnock start this game of football, because he was excellent the last time we played at Parkhead, and his performance deserved to pick up 3 points. So I would love it if we Redvan can start back in there, because if we start Barisic back there, I'm going to be terrified. Honestly, I really, really am. What I would do, ladies and gentlemen, if it is a little bit possible to suggest, is seeing maybe Redvan at left back, Sterling, Raskin, Diamande in the middle. That's legs, that's energy, that's drive. Now I know people say, well, Lunny's been great in some games. I get that, but he's not had a good game versus, I can't think of a single game he's played well versus Celtic. I don't know if it's too fast for him or whatever. He just doesn't perform versus Celtic. He just never ever has. Now again, I know for a fact Lunny will be starting tomorrow, and I can just hope he turns it on, but I would love to see Sterling in the middle. That's the one. Let's just go, if it is then Lunny, Sterling and Diamande. Let's go with that then. Let's release Sterling in the middle. Let's not waste him out. Right, we need to win the middle of the park. You win that, you can win the game. And then it goes to individual quality. Then it goes to Dessers versus Kyogo. But it all starts in the middle. let's just give ourselves a chance to win it. But that's all I've got to say about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an absolute incredible game. They're always the biggest games in a Scottish season, but right now where we are, it's obviously the biggest game in the league season, and we'll get answers to the questions that's been lingering in the back of our minds all season long, and we'll probably get told about A, B and C in the starting 11 if they've got a future here when it's all said and done. Go out there, win the game. That's what's in front of you. It's not an impossible task, it's not an unbelievable task, it's there. Win your battles, give your team a chance, and that's all I've got to say. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below, and as always, I will see you tomorrow late after the game. I've been CJ992, all the best, and bye bye.